All right.
It's been a busy day.
Yeah, quite busy.
Fucking go! And again, yep. Go!
So training for a boat race, wow, where'd you start? I think ultimately you look at your hands. Your hands are going to be holding a blade. They are going to be ripped to pieces. You are going to have raw flesh. You're going to have calluses. You're going to have to tape them up. Something's got to give.
You can tell the atmosphere is different to a normal day. It's an important day for them, they want to get it right. We've got a lot of depth this year. Fine margins can change their ranking a lot.
It'll be a tough day for the athletes. Some decisions on whether you make the blue boat or not will be made.
I mean, if you're not that nervous, you're not doing it right.
Caught on camera.
A lot of nerves going around with selection, seeing who's going to make the cruise. It's a pretty physically grueling test.
There's nothing like an ergometer test. So if you don't know what an ergometer is, the rowing machine that all rowers are tested on, it is this fearsome beast.
It's pretty raw, it's pretty aggressive, it's pretty primitive, but that's what a maximal effort is. You're just pulling on the thing as hard as you can.
Nervous and excited. Apparently your body responds the same way. I think it's a good practice for the boat race. The time is about the same.
The fastest boats are rowed by powerful guys, so the erg test is the true metric on power.
It's probably the last big erg test of the first term.
How hard can you push yourself and how long can you put yourself in the hole for?
Oh, I hate 5Ks, so I'm nervous.
Everybody knows that it's an assessment tool, so the nerves will be building, we'll be having conversations with athletes about their plan and is it going to go to plan and what if in that last kilometre.
Being strong in that last one.
Yeah, and so if you're in a position where you're going to be like really close to a very good score, are you going to just go for it? Yeah, of course it'll feel horrible and you're nervous and it'll feel awful. Yeah.
That's my plan.
Okay, let's set the screens. 500 splits.
It is so intense, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, boys.
25 seconds.
The coach has an idea of exactly the number that they want you to score, the number that they think it will take to win a boat race.
Okay, let's get ready.
30 seconds.
There's a huge amount of pressure, whether stand up to that pressure and come through if they're going to make the boat.
While you're getting yourself set up, remind yourselves, all you can do is the best you've got today. Are you all ready? Attention!
You never want to underperform on erg day.
Attention, go! Go!
There's noise, there's sweat, there's anger, there's fear, there's doubt, there's determination. You can see that etched on the faces of all the rowers. They are putting themselves through hell.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna really hurt.
You know where you're at and you know where you should be at. 10 minutes into the pace, you're thinking, I don't know if I can finish this thing.
Just moved to 35 to 2K. But some of the other guys, it was the right side of that. Mark is having a...
Tash is on a 52. The 51s, 52s were good. You got it.
Yeah, boys. Okay, I mean, it's not pretty, but she's doing all right.
Have they come into this with a good plan? How have they approached it psychologically? Having those conversations is almost as important as the number that gets put on the sheet. The fact it's an improvement and the fact it's a step on is actually more important than...
If you've underperformed, then look, if you need a teammate to explicitly tell you that you have underperformed on this erg test, then you probably don't have the right mindset.
Yeah, I got 6.5 seconds slower in my last 500.
I tried to go up fast and I almost held it, but then sort of lost it a bit. But we'll see if that time was good enough. I think I'm sort of borderline right now.
Right through this year, more so than any other I've been in, I think it's fine margins.
I think like 3 of us finished within 1 second.
3. We have 3 on the leaderboard. You can see all 3 of them in one go if you want. We have been keeping track of the top 10 records for 2K and 5K. Claire did a 6:42.9 and Sophia did a 6:43.3, which puts them first and second on the 2K all-time list. Yeah, it's a very strong squad. It's not as big as I'd like, but it's a very strong squad.
Seat first and push.
3, 4 of them learnt to row in Cambridge. We love having people who have learnt to row in Cambridge. It's, it shows what we're capable of doing over time, and etc.
Okay.
At least it's over.
Cool down.
Yeah. This life here is brutal. Way more than I expected. Like I rode at uni in the US, and it is nowhere near as stressful as it is here. Far out. It is brutal. Yeah. So.
Halfway through the season, it does feel like we've only just started. We get to know the squad, we start to know people now. We've got our trilates crews coming together. We've got a bit of selection that looks like it's starting to make sense, but we also still feel like we've got quite a long way to go in terms of how well we're rowing, how the crews are forming together, and let alone talking about like the tactical decisions that you're going to start making, the race plan that you're going to start putting in place, what happens when you get to the tide and start going side by side. Like that feels like there's still quite a lot to do in that area. Right, you lot, cool down.
I think one of the biggest challenges for any rower in the boat race is being under pressure from their tutors, from trying to deliver on an academic programme. Trying to have some kind of life, which is pretty difficult outside of the boat race training. But then they've got to handle the pressure of turning up for whether it's a 5K ergometer test where, they are going to be physically destroyed on the floor afterwards, whether it's the pressure of seat races to try and get into the Oxford or Cambridge Blue Boat, whether it's the pressure of, the match races against other crews, those sort of pressures, they are running them, they're juggling them with everything else that's going on in their lives. These people are some of the world's top people for handling pressure. If you can't handle pressure, you're not going to be in that blue boat.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, hi Sarah.
Hi.
Can you tell me your warm-up routine?
Yeah,
So we're here today for trialates, which is the only real opportunity that we get to race the entire course. It's match dates, so the 8s have been as closely matched as possible to get as tight a margin as possible, so the race should be as competitive as possible, and I want to win.
What goes up must always come back down.
Like, that's the idea of the whole thing, you know? If you can really simulate that kind of desire we're going to have on the boat race day as closely as possible. No, I am nervous though. I think you're nervous because it's obviously you obviously want to beat the other crew, but also because you're going to have to race for like 20 minutes, and it's going to hurt. And it's the same as doing an erg test, isn't it?
My first trials.
So Trialates was the first time going back to Putney and being on the Tideway after last year's race. Brought back a lot of emotions, I think, seeing the course, and brought on a lot of nerves and a lot of feelings that I was not expecting.
The last time I was in Quinton, in that change room, it was a bad day. It was a bad day. There was a lot of tears and a lot of Diet Coke.
Yeah. What goes up must always come back.
Like, you have to look at the reality, which is we are kind of on a losing streak, as painful as that is to admit.
But I'll be safe in your arms.
As a squad, everyone switched on after Head of the Charles and was like, right, it's go time. Like, everyone's very, very motivated to go faster.
Guys, in terms of since you started over, 3 odd months ago, the progress you've all made as a team, the progress you've made as a programme is outstanding. Okay, and that's what we need to measure everything by. That progress we can make every single day, all the way up until April. Okay, this is a stepping stone. Okay, this is part of it. This is part of that process, and this is an important part and an opportunity to use today. Go out there, get the most out of it, enjoy being part of something bloody special and something which most people across the world never have the chance to be involved with. You're in a very privileged position. Okay, you've earned that. Go out there and make the most of it this afternoon. Happy? Good stuff. I'm going to give it 1 minute, I'll open the shutters, okay? And you're good to go.
Okay, my side down on the half, ready, go.
What's been happening in the last few years hasn't been working. You know, I think as athletes, we come in and do everything we can every single day.
Let's get it.
Kind of nice to know that maybe the system around us and the structure is changing to support that a little bit more.
We're looking to develop the culture, we're looking to develop the philosophy of the club.
Also this year, like, we've got some amazing people obviously in the squad. Heidi Long's actually in my boat, so.
It's pretty cool to be rowing with people like Heidi. She's someone that I've actually looked up to. I got caught out. Someone told me that I used to fangirl her. So it's pretty cool to be sat a few seats behind her in the boat at the moment.
She's not only an Olympian, she's an elite ham raider. That's why we got her in.
Great. Thank you for being there and on time. I'm going to wait until the Uber boat comes back through because they're going to churn up the water.
Apparently a few people watched the Cambridge women in their trials. Like, wow, like, they're looking strong, so.
Press! Yeah, good shift! We haven't let them walk any further. We're still holding level, staying long.
It really hurt. It was very, very long. I don't really know what's in the middle of the race course, but I know there's 2 bridges in there somewhere.
It's all right. We don't have to play by
Their corner's starting to kick in.
Keep it pressed.
Down.
Yeah.
We're going to move back by going horizontal.
I felt this year was kind of tame from some of our recent ones.
Their corner's starting to kick in.
Yeah, good hit. And we win this.
That fucking race.
No, I'm out.
I think going into today, I think the crews have managed themselves very well. I think the progress they've made throughout this week has been superb.
Oh, I die for you.
The glimmer of a change in the Oxford squad setup. At the finish of the Oxford men's race, the 2 shells under Chiswick Bridge drifted together till their riggers were overlocking, and the guys reached out and tapped each other on the shoulder, shook hands. And you very rarely see that in the sport of rowing. We talk about great camaraderie, and there was a real example of it. I thought that was a very significant sign about some new beginnings and a different way of thinking in the dark blues that I think augured well for them.
Better not be delayed, I gotta get home. Finished Trial 8s yesterday, had a nice long weekend in Putney. 6 months ago I was racing in Paris with the US Olympic team, and it is pretty wild to now be finished with my first term at Cambridge. Super excited for next term. Definitely the selection for the team sort of heats up a little bit. We'll probably do more seat racing. These are real tests as a crew, and it'll give us a sense of our speed, which we don't get to see until the actual day, and you get one chance. Okay. All right, see you next year.